G'day, welcome to the next part of my All Countries mode Fly Corp. Hopefully we're going to get pretty close to the end here. So let's see how we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is just sort of let the world go for about another 20 minutes. Obviously fast forward just to see how we are managing. Sounds... I don't know where. Did we just have somewhere else that was addressing me as a problem? Alright, so that's one of my Filipino cities, so I can just connect through Manila. I can see there are a few cities that are turning a bit more yellow, that are just these outlier ones, but I mean all that is just that there's nothing else connecting to them, so they're not dropping off passengers there. They are, so it is just that there's like 40 people waiting, so I mean it's not really any sort of cause for alarm. You can see there's a few... Alright, what do we got going on here? Right, okay, so... Got the second plane going on this route. I think that should be enough, just the two planes. It's still going up, but I mean it is still currently on. I mean, those planes can come from all different corners of the Earth. They're not going to come on the same one direction. So it will cause a little bit of headache. But I think the two planes should be okay. I mean, obviously it doesn't cost me that much to put a third one on there. I don't know. Maybe creating a little bit of suspense does have some fun to it. It's the end of it too. So, I mean, it's still going up at the moment because obviously those people are still trying to get here. Probably better off spending the money to upgrade the airport, I think. But I mean, I've got nothing to do for the next 10 minutes of gameplay anyway, so let's see if it can hold. Alright. You win passengers. We'll just make sure that our other major spots are looking alright. Hiroshima. We don't have South Korea yet too, and I would imagine there'd be a fair bit of traffic flow there as well. A few more Indonesian cities. Yeah, doing okay for money. Especially in these weights, we do seem to continually be going up in money. With how much these countries are starting to cost us, so it's at 8 million. Definitely welcome it. I did see at the start of this one I was 87% of the way through. Obviously North America's done, it's just a few little, except for Puerto Rico. Central America, a lot of South America, tiny bit of Africa, and then just some islands out this way. The thing that I find hard about these is I'm like, alright, cool, I should address that. But I have no idea where that airport is. Some countries, I don't know where they are. Individual cities of it. I have major issues with. Now, Havana is just complaining for a moment there. Let's make that a bigger airport anyway. As Bamako is... No, I don't want the route. I want the city. So that's everything heading north. So that's this route here. So definitely give that a bit more airplane presence. Possibly what I could do is also give them a connection direct to Cairo, but I mean we can also just upgrade planes that are on that Tripoli to Cairo route. But the problem is that all these planes that have gone that way have turned red as they've turned around and come back. So they're actually... It's all the people that are traveling to... There we go. South America at the moment. Just going to clog that up. Marco is about to buckle. This one could get pretty bad too, although we've only got a minute left managing it. Make that the biggest city. And now we're under 10 minutes. Let's get Guinea in here. Fiji. Fiji will go through Papua New Guinea. Again, I don't imagine that there'll be much of a problem with it. Did make me twinge a little bit that to get to Fiji, for me, I would have to go all the way through Jakarta. Let's make Tripoli a little bit bigger as well with this current squeeze. And I mean, like, if I just want a holiday to Fiji, a lovely little island trip, I've got to go all the way up, to Canberra, all the way over through Papua New Guinea and over. It's like, that's a long way. Should we just make this connection just so I can have my holidays a little bit easier? Okay, so looks like we've weathered the storm of this one. I mean, he's still got a fair bit coming in, but I don't think it's going to sink it at all. 13,000 sitting there. It's definitely a problem. And I mean, all of these are heading that same direction, so they can't go until that's fixed. But I mean, the fact that you can see that Bamako is basically taking that much brunt of this whole trip, and it's basically the only thing that it's got going on. That's okay. It's just basically this is going to continue to build up as this doesn't get yet addressed. While we're in the vicinity, let's bring in South Korea. And we'll connect it through both Beijing and Wuhan as well. We will try and get a couple of planes going on both of those routes. I don't think I'll worry about a connection to Tokyo for them as well. They can just sort of bounce through Beijing. Should be fine. Marco is still struggling there, but it has gone down. So I think we are finally winning this one. Haiku. Is that where the haiku comes from? Ghana. Is that around here? No, good. At least they're only going to have to bounce through Bamako. It's not the final location of this. And at least there's another, like, that they'll bounce in and quickly move on. But let's give that a second plane at least. Yeah, that's still going down, but you can see that that's now going up. It could take a little while to correct that. If I did get that warning asking me if I want to risk having a 1/3 of the normal passengers, I'd possibly take it just to try and let this guy relax a little bit. Gonna have a look at Lishan. That's another city that I've just missed. Certainly are plenty of them. And we'll continue to wait. We won't bring Paraguay in until 10 minutes. So we've got 7 more minutes of making money and building lines on its current cost. Still chipping away at that. Hopefully nothing else of note happens in South America for a while, because otherwise this guy will struggle. And you can see that these are now red too, so people heading there are now becoming major, but luckily I think those planes are just sort of taking care of business. It's a short enough route that they're addressing it. Los Angeles. Where was it? There, okay. So this will really put the pressure on these routes again. See how we go. As long as there's people going on Los Angeles from both routes, even all three, you can see that people are stacking on that too. So hopefully it does mean that those are all going to be divided as opposed to pushing through one of these lines. Why are you struggling? Nothing particular. It is just sort of heading south. How many planes have you got on that route? 2. Let's give you another one. Wait for that guy to get a bit more of a gap on him. And let's bring Paraguay. For now, that can go through there. Possibly it can be the central point of these 5 guys. New Zealand's up next, so we'll bounce that through Canberra. 10 million. So we'll go 2 planes on this route. Just wait for that one to get to the far end. Brunei, just in here. Might go to Bangkok for this one, I think. 11 million. Does feel a little bit nicer to just sort of try and expand this out as much as we can. No. That wasn't the one that told me about that one down there. Wuhan. We jump on Chile now. London's almost full. Okay, so that suggests that the heavy lifting of Los Angeles is going through London, but it actually is at least being divided between all of them. Washington is also struggling with its direct LA flight. Let's give them... We'll wait for that guy to get a bit of a... Now, luckily, this is causing London an issue and not Paris an issue, because that's the one that if it did, we would have no answer for it. We would just be sunk. So we'll get him up a bit more now. Wait for these 2 guys to turn around. And then we will put our 5th plane on here too. DC we can still upgrade too, but we may as well just... I can't imagine that Los Angeles is ever really going to quiet down as a route, so... Let it happen. That has put a bit more of a squeeze on New York's route too. But I mean, if that's already over and it's only about halfway, it does look like they'll handle that. It's going to be a weird little one to connect. I can't imagine there'd be too many people on that flight. Now, I have had some people mention that the Falkland Islands or I guess some of the smaller islands, they actually haven't unlocked before where the game has sort of declared you victorious. So when we get close to right near the end here, where we've got about 3 countries left, I'm going to save. That's bad that we've got another one that's going to push those same flights. This one. We'll just upgrade it. So while we're still waiting for all these Los Angeles people to clear out, we're now going to have Milwaukee slamming into that too. At least Milwaukee does seem to be going through the other ones too. So hopefully London doesn't completely buckle under this. It's almost cleaned out Los Angeles anyway, but it would be nice to have that overflow of New York gone. But it does seem like the better route would be if you've got something that will take you directly to Washington. It was almost full. This one. Really getting in there to try and click on these tight spaces. Okay. We'll leave it another 7 minutes. We go for Chile. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if I finished the thought. I will save with about three or so countries to go. Maybe 5 countries to go, just in case there's any issues. That. So Washington's not looking too bad. So at least once it gets over the Atlantic, it's not too bad. But the fact that those New York trips just aren't getting addressed because they've had back-to-back Los Angeles, the New York ones have built up, and then now Milwaukee's doing the same thing to it. That is a massive campaign, but no, thank you. There's nothing we can really do, I think, but just sit and wait. It's now over, so this should start to hopefully go down. In worst case, we can upgrade it. And I can't imagine there's going to be many other situations where it's going to be as bad as that. That basically it was 2 back-to-back extreme scenarios. We are going to hit that. So now London joins Paris as that we've got no failsafe, that if it goes, it's gone. It's a lot of planes for Milwaukee. I can't see how New York's going to clean up under that. And I mean, there's all this too, but are they actually flying to, hope they're actually flying out this way and they're not just dumping them on London. Again, I was focusing on something, so I missed that very brief announcement of a new city. I assume it was China, so... Yep, okay. So 60 million to work with. Bring in Chile. I'm so glad that Chile's capital is not that far south. For me, if I was flying to South America, I think Santiago is the only city you can actually fly to directly from Melbourne. That's my little fun fact about that. Let's get Peru. And I'll get Peru to go. It's sort of about the same length either way. And Vanuatu over our tiny little islands. Valencia. Still got more Chinese cities coming in. Definitely validating why it would be worthwhile to get China going really early. That just the domestic money or international money you can potentially make from it. Certainly be worthwhile. Guyana. $15 million. Alright, let's spend that, and then we'll spend the next 20 minutes just making our money. Let's have a look how London's doing. I mean, the New York part of that is at least going away. Beijing, I suppose. What are you struggling with? I suppose you are a pretty small airport there, so let's just give you a little bit of a booster. And let's just go back to staring at London. Question is this number going down? Like, these numbers here have definitely gone down. But are we actually addressing Milwaukee? Or are we just struggling here? Because I'm not seeing this number go down at all. There we go, finally. So this route here must be the one that we're waiting for, not that route up there. Though I guess the 5 planes on this must be stacked at one end. Cool, just what we need. More people on our flights. I mean, obviously we're going to make a little bit more money in this, but priority at the moment is just saving London. You are a connecting destination, and you've got long flights behind you, so certainly we can give you an upgrade. The only place we've got left down here is we've got New Caledonia and East Timor. New Caledonia is not a country, though. That is a French territory, I believe. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that's its designation. Well, it's good to see that's at least going to get under 10,000 soon. But yeah, New York and Los Angeles are now creeping back up as that's coming down. But at least positively, once that's gone, that should just be gone. I do hope that people are still traveling to New York and LA through Madrid and so on. I mean, at this point, surely it would be a much quicker trip if you just took a flight from Paris through Washington or something to get to Milwaukee than waiting to go through New York. Because that's still, you've got to go New York, Washington, Milwaukee. I would have thought that from Paris to Washington to Milwaukee was a quicker flight. Did another city open there and I wasn't paying attention? Assume China? No. South America? These guys are going yellow because of how long it's taking them to be visited. St. Louis. Been a while since we've had a American city. Just want to check our Havana. 300,000 now. But really, if you're struggling for money, think about the investments that you can make if you just connect every single little island to, say, Madrid or something, and then late game sell all those routes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11 places to go. And the next one's going to cost us 16 million. We had a new Nigerian city show up too. And where was this one? We will wait. I think the strategy of holding out, so if I do get any domestic ones, they're slightly cheaper now than they would be if I make them after I've unlocked more countries. We'll stick with, because I do need a lot of money here to finish this off. Presumably I'm going to need about 20 million per country remaining. So if I've got 11 countries remaining, I'm going to need $220 million. So it could come right down to it in the end there. How are we doing, London? Well, Milwaukee's gone. So hopefully that New York leg is going to get better. Now, where's Somalia? It's cool. They're just the end of a route, so they're not a problem again. And see, at the moment, we are making a fair bit of money pretty quickly. And I mean, this is certainly a beneficial one. That the only thing is that a country is blocked that has one city in it that in no way impacts the rest of our network. That we're not sort of putting any strain on a place like London or... I don't know why everyone's going through London at the moment. I certainly wouldn't think that that was the most efficient way to get to Los Angeles. Really don't understand it, so I don't know if I'm now in a race against time against London collapsing as well. I mean, this has gone down. It was up around 20,000, so I mean, the fact that nothing's currently happening in New York, and New York's up to still at 10,000 people waiting to go, is not a good sign. But the fact that there's not 20,000 people waiting in that airport does suggest that we're doing okay. All right, in comes Argentina. Maybe we have more countries than I thought, because I don't know if I counted that one. Oh no, I did. Of course, it's the one I forgot. Didn't recognize. Oh, here comes an announcement. That is ridiculous. Wow, what were they carrying in their luggage? I need to know. Alright. Great, good job, lawyers. Bolivia. Good. Glad you've got a southern capital so you can connect to Paraguay. Costa Rica. Can't afford it. Okay. So this is where we're really going to come down to it. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be close, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save at this point. That's this one. Yep. Just so that if something goes wrong, or if we glitch out, I'm okay. Hopefully we can finish it in this particular session. We are making money quite quickly at this stage. I think the only thing that we don't want is we don't want a city that is managed by London become busy. It's the only thing I think that's going to really cause us a problem, because you can see that's now 13,000, so it's going down, but only going down just. It is certainly a problem. And I do think that we, as opposed to what was happening before, I don't think I'm making as much money as what I need to spend on unlocking countries now. So this is going to get real tight. And so if we look at our, say, Havana thing, we're now $300,000 that we could sell that for. That we could make $1 million very easily. I mean, thank you for the money there. But what just got... Cool, so again, just the end of a line. Jodhpur. I've been to Jodhpur. See the Jodhpur fort. Blue City. So we've only just hit enough money to unlock Costa Rica. So that's at 20 minutes. So if by 14 minutes we have $40 million, then suggestively we are making enough money that we could potentially continue to open up new countries. I mean, that is ticking along quite quickly. It does say to me that I can't really do any other routes to get this sorted out, because so I'm going to connect this through here, because just the cost of the route is now going to be a factor in these builds. I don't think I'm looking good. I don't think that we're going to get there. We actually need Oktoberfest or something. We need somewhere Central Europe to just get hit with a surge of people, because Europe can handle it. Probably Africa and India can handle it too. I think essentially everywhere, but cities managed by London can handle it. It's still going down, but only just. Here we go. Slow pause. I guess something's getting... No, that one's just finished. $12. I don't think there are any. I think it's just stealing money off me. So the other thing that we could potentially do in this late game section is we could sell routes like Canberra and New Zealand and these countries, and just try and upgrade the airports to handle the amount of people that are slowly like just sitting in those spots. if we're just a quick surge to try and win, we might be able to get away with that. If you could flat out pause in this game, so that what you could do is just pause, sell all of your routes, and then just buy up those last few countries, I think we'd be in business. Okay, let's get Costa Rica in here. Let's spend as little money as possible on having them in here. Puerto Rico's up next. Again, not a country. That's okay. That's going to cost us 21 million. That's okay. So we are definitely now running out of time. So if I was to do this again, if I was to fail this and do this again, and the question was, what do I need to address? So cool, the Congo doesn't affect anything, so that's not a problem. It would be not necessarily going so hard so fast on opening countries. It's sort of probably pushing just to that 20-minute mark and then building long routes. The other one would be, I reckon, actually do, if you've got a lot of money early, just build a whole bunch of pointless long routes, like this Havana one, and so that when you get to this final point, you can just sell 3 of them for $1 million each. Now, Puerto Rico can come in now. And again, we're going to go super cheap. It is just going to be its closest connection. Again, we'll stay within the same country. Go closest connection that way. Now that does beg the question for these. Let's slow down for a moment. So I could sell that for 44,000 and I could connect it for 14,000. So I think that's what we're going to start doing here. Is we're going to start selling routes. Actually should have connected it to Chongqing, but it's actually that it's the closer route. That's probably the, like, everyone can hub into this one point. Let's just check what's happening in Mexico City. Why are you struggling? Just a little airport. It's okay. Let's go back to what we were doing. Got him in there so we can sell that. I mean, this isn't big money at this point, but because we can't flat out pause the game, I think that we need to address it. See what we can do. Again, if we make that connection, that's 21,000. Oh, sorry, maybe this one would sell 37,000. Now, the cost of upgrading him is definitely nowhere near as much as the cost of the money that we made on that build. How much will we get for these ones? 68,000. Okay, so let's make Dhaka a central hub. We won't do it for Calcutta because that's a significant one, so we'll sell that, sell that. His New Delhi route, and his New Delhi route. Alright, what do we got now? No. Let's have a quick look to see, is there anywhere where I've got really big distance routes? Like, what's happening in I mean, they're just a bit too scattered, I think. In Brazil, they are definitely long routes. So if we say made these ones go through Kolkata, that's 20,000, and we can make 30,000 on each of those. So we'll just sell those 3. potentially this will put a bit more of a pinch on New Delhi too, because it's fewer routes that are actually taking the planes out. But I think it's worth it. I mean, it essentially it feels like busy work at this point because this money is not big money. Oh, we almost sold the wrong one. But I don't want to be short 20,000 or something at the end. I do want to try and make sure we can make it. Vanilla get hit or something? Mumbai we don't want to get rid of, so let's just connect that through there. Because we still don't have enough money yet to get Uruguay, I don't think. So we may as well just keep chipping away at this. Now we're starting to talk some big money. 70,000, 113. Not sure on that one. Yeah, we'll take the 60. Just the planes as well, I guess, that we're gaining on some of these. Now, obviously, as well, I'm making the game run slower, so that's also why it doesn't feel like we're making money anywhere near as quickly. See if there's anywhere where there's like a weird hub of places that can probably make a lot closer. 34,000 for these. It's not big money though. The thing is that even if I just did a quick sweep and sold all of these routes through the middle here, they're only like 300,000 each, so it wouldn't be that I could sweep it and then have my like sort of victory from that. Let's bring in Sarah's. So we've got 17 minutes. So it is going to be heartbreaking, but I'm going to have to end it there because I think it is going to take longer than I thought. So there we go, the end of this one. On a knife's edge for the next one. Till next time, catch you later. See ya.